everybody, Mel here and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Thank you to all those who've subscribed and leaving comments on my videos and supporting my work. It's awesome to have you here. Thank you for your support. So this video is a long-awaited video. I've had many requests asking for me to talk about this particular topic. This will be like the first and last time I'll talk about it because personally, I'm not really a big fan of this concept of hoovering. I mean, like cleaning the house, yeah, I'm fine with hoovering, but the context in this is being sucked back into a relationship with someone who has a personality disorder, someone who's very dysfunctional, just being sucked into a relationship. Now, the reason why I really don't like this term is because it's implying an external locus of control. It's giving support that I had no choice over this. I was pulled into this. And really, like, the first step towards personal change is reclaiming back this locus of control, taking responsibility for your actions. All of us have a choice at any given moment. However, I do respect the fact that there are definitely times when it does feel like we've been sucked back into someone's life story again, someone's reality. We try so hard to stay away from them and they come back into our life and it's like they have this magical power to just pull us right back into where we left off. And I understand it's really frustrating, so to say the least. So this video is to help you better identify when it's happening, reasons for why it's happening, and tips and ideas to help you stop this from happening. So the term hoovering, which is what we're going to be talking about today, is commonly referred to nowadays as when a narcissist, just like the vacuum cleaner, sucks you right back in and we are back in their clutches of tyranny and abuse and pain. This seems to be something that is reoccurring for a lot of people. Maybe it's one particular person who you just keep getting back into the relationship with. Maybe it's even a pattern in the past of different relationships where they come back and we keep giving them a second chance, third chance, fourth chance, fifth chance. You lose track. You lose track of how many times you've split up, got back together. And this is very, very, very common dating someone with BPD. So people who are likely to try to hoover you and try to suck you back into a relationship with them are people who, for one thing, just don't understand healthy boundaries. For people who are so self-obsessed that they don't care about the impact that this is going to have on your mental health. They don't care about the impact that this will have, just keep coming in and out of your life, or for anyone else who's involved in both of your lives. They only care about gratifying themselves. For some people, it's better as a fantasy, the idea of marriage, of long-term commitment, moving in with someone, having kids. It's all fine and dandy in their minds, but then when it starts to become real, when the moving date approaches and you're going to move in with your borderline partner, and then they get cold feet, they panic. It's becoming too real, the threat of it not being as good as it could be, not being the fantasy, and instead they're going to feel trapped. And this is enough for them to then start to get panicky, start to get suspicious, paranoid, fearful, and eventually this is the process for them, well, leaving you, for ghosting you, for making excuses and just getting out of Dodge. So this partner leaves and then after a while starts to feel lonely. And this sets in another fear, and this is a fear that all of us can relate to, and this is the terror of abandonment. And all of us feel this as a baby when the lights go off and we feel separate from our caregiver, from our mum. And this is horrifying. We feel like we don't exist when the parent's not there, when we can't see, and we need that soothing to be back in contact. And this fear of abandonment is deepened with people who have BPD because of trauma that they've received. Often it's the parenting that they received. I had a parent who was very ambivalent in showing their affection. The child couldn't predict when they were going to get affection or when they were going to get abuse. So that in itself is going to really accentuate any fears of abandonment when they really needed mummy or daddy and he or she never showed up. And so the pain that all of us have as babies, which we should be soothed with a responsive caregiver, a responsive and attentive mum who comes and soothes us. When we don't have that, when we don't predictably have that, then the fear of abandonment is going to be massively exaggerated. It's going to be intense. So a child that didn't have regular and consistent and attentive parenting, who wasn't soothed by their parent when they were crying at night, when they were left alone for long periods of time, then yeah, the child is going to develop fears of abandonment. They're going to have abandonment issues as they get older. So if you find that your ex just comes back into your life and entices you back in, maybe through doing things that you know that you've got a weakness for, then they'll send you photos, maybe send you videos, maybe they'll say things like, I was watching this film, our film, or listening to our song and thinking of you. Maybe they will come in with seemingly innocent questions like, hey, how's it going? And then it becomes quite obvious that they want something from you. So bear in mind that people with BPD have this massive terror of abandonment, and as such that when they spend periods of time alone, they hate it, and as such that they're going to be driven to want to be back in relationship, to be back in someone's company, to have someone listen to them, to give them sympathy, to give them what they need basically, and they will do what it takes to want to get you back into their reality. So this is very common for people who don't understand healthy boundaries, okay? It's not just limited to people with BPD. It's not just limited to narcissists, all right? People who don't understand what healthy boundaries are, when they think that it's okay to call you in the middle of the night because of something that's going on in their life, even though they treated you like crap and have been ignoring you, this is a sign that perhaps this person is a little bit dysfunctional, doesn't understand healthy boundaries, and that they have a reason for getting back in contact with you. Ask yourself, does my partner actually care about me? Does my ex have a legit reason for getting back in contact with me? Is this genuine, this, hi, how's it going, thinking of you? Is this genuine? Do they miss my company? Or is there an ulterior motive? And when there is an ulterior motive, you can betcha that there's going to be this feeling of wanting to pull you back in. And this is where the feeling of hoovering comes in, because if you're not aware to what's going on, if you're not conscious of what's happening here, then yeah, you can find yourself being sucked in. But bear in mind that this is not just applicable to humans, all right, and people. This is addictive behavior in general. If this is someone who you can say you've been addicted to, someone that you have difficulty saying no to, someone that you find you get easily swept into with things because you're crazy about them, you have a soft spot for them, then they are going to play on this. They are going to want to tempt you so that you will give in. And is this not a bit like quitting an addictive behavior? How sometimes we think, okay, I'm not going to eat any more chocolate, I'm going on a healthy diet, no more sugar, and don't eat any sugar for the whole day. You think, yeah, I'm doing really good, I'm strong, I'm awesome at this. And then come evening time, you find yourself walking to the shops in a daze, and suddenly there's chocolate in your mouth, and you're like, how did this happen? What is happening? It's like something took over and I just sabotaged my efforts. That's the power of addiction. When we really want to get that thing, that dopamine hit that fix. So if you are, or you were addicted to your personality disordered ex, your dysfunctional ex, you need to be honest with yourself and admit that to yourself, because realizing that you have an addiction to this person is what's going to ultimately help you in reclaiming back your power. and think, nah, I'm not going back in that again. I am not going to keep falling back into this hole. Look, there's lots of reasons why an ex would do this, lots of reasons why someone wants to try and suck you back into their reality. Now, ultimately, with personality disorders as a whole, they don't have a true sense of who they are. They don't have a stable self. They don't know who they are. Their defense mechanisms, their personas, they're all built on shaky grounds. People with BPD, for example, they're constantly at odds with what they want. They're never really satisfied. They're ambivalent by nature, meaning they want both things at the same time that are conflicting. And namely, that is the wanting to be intimate and having that fear of intimacy and wanting to be, distanced from it, and wanting both at the same time creates a living hell for both parties involved. It's not easy. So there is going to be this underlying drive in someone who needs you to be their supply source, okay? Whether they're feeling massively deflated. And so with a grandiose narcissist, for example, they're heavily invested in this full self because that's all they have. But they need other people to confirm it. If they're not doing well, if they're like not feeling great, they will reach out to someone who they know is a good resource for them, someone who will give them what they need, whether they need a favor for them, whether they need the admiration, their attention, whatever it is. They will go to people who will give in too easily, who will just let them get away with it. They are actively seeking out enablers. And that is at the root of codependency, is it not? When people are, am I codependent? I'm like, well, are you enabling the behaviors of a abusive or dysfunctional person in your life? The way to stop enabling them is to say no, to walk away, to realize that, you're better than this, to realize that it's not going to change unless they've given you consistent, reliable evidence that they have changed. But you need proof, okay? So someone who is intentionally trying to scam you into this reality, they're going to charm you, they're going to downplay stuff, they're going to exaggerate, they're going to lie, they're going to do what it takes to convince you that they've changed, that you are better off for getting back into their life. But you know what? Listen to what your body's telling you, what your instincts are telling you. If you feel like that churn in your stomach, that's like, something smells right dodgy about this. If you just get a bad taste in your mouth, if you feel tense, if you feel anxiety again, all right, listen to that. These are, your body's telling you that danger is in front of you, okay? Danger ahead. All of us, all animals have these primary instincts to spot a predator. Listen to this. Best thing to do about a hoovering ex is to not give them the power, not let yourself be hoovered, okay? You absolutely have a choice to do things differently. Don't let yourself be sucked into anything that you don't want to be. Take time out before making any big decisions, all right? That's not someone who's worth giving your time and energy to if they're pressurizing you into big decisions. They're trying to guilt trip you into getting back with them. Nah, that's another red flag. Get out of that. Learn to love yourself more. Believe that you can do better. You can do better. Believe in yourself. There's millions of people out there in the world. Life is too short to be wasting your time and energy and good love on someone who just doesn't deserve it. Do you want to keep being their enabler, or do you actually want to do something different this time? All right? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I love hearing about what you have to say. And get in touch if this strikes a chord and maybe you need help coming out of a relationship. If you feel like you can resonate with what this video is about, drop me an email, melanieprsvp@gmail.com. Maybe online counseling can help. All right, well, have a lovely evening and speak to you soon. Bye for now.